this is perfect. So we have a great guest. Come on just a little bit further in so we get you on camera, Red. And you too, Jeff. Come on down. So we have a special guest here, and I'm going to let Jeff Matthews, Director of Bands here at Northwestern State, tell us all about him.
Great. Yeah, Red is a longtime band director in the state. Did you retire once or twice? I can't remember.
You just changed jobs, you know.
But Red taught for years here in the state, and he's just an icon and one of the best teachers that I've ever met. And every little school that he taught at was just a gold mine for band kids because they had this guy there. And I mean, he taught at some places way out, little tiny places, and would take these little bands out and make ones at state contests and superior ratings all the time, and just the most beautiful sounds you can imagine coming out of these little schools. And it was all this guy right here. So Red Laperyouse, Louisiana classic. I hope you enjoy talking to him for a few minutes.
Can't wait.
I'm just ancient, that's all. That's what this is about. There's so many changes we see taking place, but you know, the thing that does not change is that the fine arts are part of our life, and every student needs to share in this. And to be a total human being, as I always say, there are 4 areas you must develop. Number 1, we must have good physical and hygiene habits to take care of this cage we live in. Number 2, we all have to assemble a body of facts into a trade or profession to earn our way. That's honorable. Number 3, we need to have a good religious philosophy of where we came from and where we're trying to get back to. And number 4, we need emotional stability, which can be developed through participation in the fine arts. And when schools cut this out, they're riding a 3-legged horse, because kids need this. Kids need to know where is the wall. And when you tell them this, they're going to be in this program. And all the kids I've had went on to do better in their classes because I demanded of them. And I expected that. And you young band directors, remember this, you're not there to be their friend. You're there to give them all the knowledge that you have so that they can go on. And if you demand this of them, years will go by, and they will recognize you. People I've taught 55 years ago, they'll see me somewhere, come up and hug me. Well, they changed. I said, the reason you know me, I always looked old and ugly, okay? But that is why I feel it's so important, folks, is that we need to teach the whole child. Remember that. And that's what I live by, and band and the arts are important. And if you are a teacher, you've got to do this, and remember this. The Lord never made us to sit in the corner and feel sorry for ourselves. He says, use your talents and abilities to make this world a better place for my people. And if you do this, no matter what all you've got to go through, as long as you have that vision, you're going to make it. Remember the 3 P's, patience, persistence, and prayer. Not necessarily in that way, but Lord, we need your help. Thank you.
Wow, super inspirational. Don't go anywhere. That was incredible. That was awesome. I agree. I have 2 kids right now, 2 junior high kids that play the trumpet and the drums, and they're both in band, and they love it, and it's a great thing for them. So they were the folks here have been, you know, you're a legend. So they've been telling me all about you this morning, and they and they said that one of your passions was to actually, when you would go from job to job, was sort of find the tiny little bands that were struggling, that needed your help.
That's right. I've always thought this. When I was with the Marine Band Department Pacific, a friend of mine, he played trombone. I was in the band. I played baritone with the Marine Band on the West Coast. Anyway, one night he invited me to his house to supper, and this one sister was going to take ballet, and this was going to take art. And I said, you know what? There's just as much talent anywhere in the world. What needs to be is the opportunity. So that's my job. When I come back, I'm going to teach. Because, ladies and gentlemen, young people who are in a good band program will make friendships, will last forever, and they will learn that they can concentrate and they can accomplish. Because remember, we do not make mistakes. We eliminate wrong answers and keep going and never, never, never stop. And that's what's, it's not important how many times we fall. It's how many times we get up and go again and never, never quit. And that's my philosophy.
I love it. I love it. So you were a Marine.
Yes, sir.
Me too. Me too. Me too. Semper Fi. Happy birthday, Marine. Exactly. How long were you a part of the Marine bands on the West Coast?
Well, I was doing the Korean thing, things calmed down, and then I got to be there with it. And we did a lot of things up there. And of course, I was, with the, I went to Japan, and I went to Thailand, and Okinawa, and all these kind of things, And everywhere we went, the people were glad to see us because we brought to them some of what America means and what our band programs and what we did. And people really enjoyed that and loved it. And so, matter know what your job is. I was going to get drafted. I didn't want to be in the Army, so I joined the Marines. I said, what am I doing? These people are crazy. But anyway, I lived through it. But here's the big thing about it is that every person does his job in any system there is, and if they all do that, they are just as important as the top person. Everybody in that band, that kid can play 2 notes right on the clarinet. That is wonderful because he's contributing to it. Everybody, no 2 bands can sound alike because everybody put themselves into it and they make it sound what they want it to sound. And it's so important. The music has to tell the story. We paint with sound. Thank you.
Oh man, I could listen to you talk all day long. So tell me about so anybody that has this kind of passion, you guys we're usually made from band people, right? So was your family musical? Were they involved in music education?
Oh yes, well not really. They all played, and they all professional in their businesses and everything. And the whole idea was this: that, like I told them, we go on no matter what happens in life. We pick ourselves up and go again. And people have to go to a lot of struggles in life, They really do this. But as long as you have this inner peace, because the Lord is with you, you're going to make it.
That's great. So your parents were musicians?
No, not really. In fact, my dad, when I was a kid, we used to get out of school to go trapping. Man, we trapped muskrat, mink, otter. I was down South Louisiana and Homer and everything. I didn't like that at school, man. What are you talking about? I didn't want to go to school. And so later on, when they finally made a band, I said, man, I want to do that. The teacher said, no, you can't go because you don't do your lessons. I got mad. I was stubborn. I'd hear that band, boy. I kept doing it. And finally I said, you know what? It's not too hard doing this other stuff.
So your daddy was a trapper.
Yeah.
Trapping muskrat, mink, and cymbal players, right?
No, they weren't. Everything was string. Everybody played music down south, either stringing and some guitar and accordion and whatever, The whole family got together and did this. That's what it is in South Louisiana. The Cajuns, Of course, we weren't Cajuns. We came from Paris because the great-great-grandfather was a ship's captain. During the Napoleonic War, he didn't want to get into it because he used to trade from Paris to New Orleans. He put all his family on board and got off in New Orleans and never went back. So we have over 500 Laperyouse families in that area because we didn't come by Nova Scotia. But everybody spoke French. If you didn't speak French, you must be a foreigner. And that's what it was. So anyway, this is what inspired me to go on in education because I wasn't interested in it. But because I could do that, and there was something inside of me that drew me to us. And there's so many kids that have this and don't have the opportunity. So if you're a band director, seek these people out, man, and help them. Help them to grow and become a better human being. Because that's what I tried to do.
Wonderful, wonderful words. Red, thank you so much for stopping by today. We really appreciate having you here. I think, Dave, we're going to make a special segment for this so we can put that on the front page. People can tune in and get inspired by Red, words by Red, about why we should be providing music education for students every day, all the time. Thanks for being here today. We really appreciate it. You guys were tuned into the 66th annual, that was last week. You tuned into the 26th annual Marching Band Contest here at Classic on the Cane at Northwestern State University. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back with Sterlington High School Marching Band at 12:30 p.m. in just a few minutes.